about to go downtown.
Downtown Kay.
Downtown. You about to go downtown.
Hi.
Or should I say bonjour? Which way are we going tonight?
Oh, any.
How are you doing? I'm really excited that we're able to meet virtually.
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well. You look so beautiful.
Thank you. So do you, girl.
Thank you. This is all for you. I'm not even gonna put this all for you tonight. So
Oh my God.
how are you doing? It's Friday Junior, but like, how are you? How's Tamara Grace?
Oh, it's been very, very good so far. 2022 has been very good to me so far.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Energy. I love to hear that. It is Women's Month. I think we just passed over International Women's Day, but it's something that, definitely being a female behind this like platform, I've always wanted to like break the barrier and be like, women, we could do it all. We could support each other. There's so much women out there that are not like the typical artists that we hear every day. And I love that about your artistry and the type of music you put out there and just your whole vibe. Like it's just very like unique and I fuck with it a lot.
Thank you. I try my best to be as authentic as I can on social media.
That's really good. I do receive that. So you're doing a great job of that.
Thank
What
you.
are, what are your thoughts, Tamara, and just like Women's Month and you are a woman in the music industry and you have had experience maneuvering through it. Just what are your feelings and thoughts on that?
Oh, so I definitely feel like for the past couple of years, decades, that as women, we've always been put down and we've always had these certain pressures be put on us, especially. And so just being able to be there for each other is really important. And I luckily have a lot of women artists who are also working with at the same time as me. So it's always important to just be supportive with one another.
No, I really love that, and I rock with that message 1000%. Um, I love to. I've already read your bio, all the things, but just for the sake of everyone tapping in here tonight, let everyone know where you're from, where you're representing, and why. How did you seep into the genre of a pop artist?
Yeah, so basically I started music. I've always loved music ever since I was a child. I have a musical family. I have my mom and dad who aren't really into music, but they really love to listen to it. And I have aunts and uncles who were in bands here and there. So I've always been surrounded by such a musical background. And so given that, I've, jumped in at the same time. And yeah, so being in pop, I've really been with all types of genres. Like if I were to give you an example, my mom really loves Queen and Black Eyed Peas. So you really see like the difference there. And
Yeah.
then my dad really loves ABBA, Bee Gees, Michael Bublé. My
Ooh.
grandmother really liked really soulful singers and really powerful singers. So like Celine Dion, who is from Quebec, representing, and Whitney Houston was a really big thing at our house. And yeah, like I was saying, my two uncles were really into rock and metal. So I had a lot of that playing in the house as well. So having all of that and then jumping into pop, I thought it was really important to, know my background, be true to who I am, and always involve a little bit of, a little bit of this, a little bit of that into my music.
No, I love that, and it's so. Now that you've given me a range of like kind of what everyone else is into, I understand like your music and your sound even more. Did you find at any point you were like struggling to find your sound? What was that experience like for you?
Oh yeah, for sure. I would definitely say growing up, it was really hard because everyone had a different type of taste, and I was always driving into one, then going into the other. So I was really, having a hard time trying to find my own self. So I remember in high school, that was kind of the time where I started finding things that I personally liked that were my personal taste. Like I remember listening to more so electropop artists like Marina and the Diamonds, Melanie Martinez, Halsey, Lana Del Rey. And I remember just thinking, this is me. This is artists that I personally really love to listen to. And so, yeah, growing up, it was a little struggle, but I ended up finding myself there.
Now, your most recent record, Autumn
Hmm.
Tears. I mean, like, I've only been talking to you for about a couple of minutes, but it gives a dark, airy, but like uplifting vibe. If I'm just being honest, love it.
Yeah,
Love that
thank
type of
you.
sound. But meeting you, I'm like, where is this coming from, girl? Like,
Oh yeah.
how did you dig so deep? What was the inspiration behind Autumn Tears?
Yeah, definitely. I remember some people telling me like, you're so positive and smiley. How is it possible that you can write something so deep? But yeah, I have really deep thoughts. Sometimes I've even surprised myself. But the way I started writing the song was it was coming from a relationship that I was in a couple of years ago, which was really, really toxic. And
Mm.
there were some
Girl.
really horrible moments.
Yeah.
There were really horrible moments, so bad that they were in the back of my head and I couldn't deal with them. So the thing that kind of opened up those memories was bumping into my ex for the first time since we broke up. And I was on my own, so I really didn't know how to react, what to say, what to expect. So I just kind of drifted off really quick, tried to avoid the situation. And then I'm pretty much an overthinker, so I kept repeating that situation in my head over and over and over. And
Mm.
I had this tune already, like the tune for the song. I already had it already in my catalog a couple of months before that. So I never had a specific lyric that I had that was perfect for that tune. So that moment, I remember I was in my room and I was just sitting there on my own and I was trying to find something for a new song because I hadn't written something in a while. And I was playing the tune over and over and over. And then the first verse just came so fluidly.
Mm.
And then I started crying because then I realized,
That was
oh,
cute.
that's what we're talking about now. And
Mm.
that's where we're going. So we're going to have to either keep going or we're just going to take a break. So I kept going. And it was hard, but we got through it.
I love to hear that because, you know, when I listen, I'll give a more recent example. Artists like Summer Walker, and
Hmm.
there's a lot of records on her most recent projects that I'm completely in love with. It hits for me as a woman. Everything you just spoke on, like if a girl says she never ducked when she saw her ex, you're lying. Like
You're
every,
lying.
everyone has like that experience to some degree, and it's just like her performing it live and being or not performing those
Hmm.
those songs live when it's just like I spent so much time with like personal experience and headphones listening to that music. Can't wait to now share that moment with you, and you're like, no, it's just way too fresh and too deep. As an artist, how did you learn to like grow and push through that moment, like keep writing or keep
Hmm.
performing despite the heavy and like deep emotions you're feeling?
I honestly think that just the fact that I've been doing it for a long time and also getting to know myself is those are the two keys that really helped me go through that. Because I've been doing music since I was 8, but was really in the industry since I was 16. So like 5 years now. So I would really say just getting to know myself really did help and just knowing my boundaries and just knowing how far I would go and how far I would just, stop. And yeah, that really having boundaries. Yeah.
1000%. 1000%. So when it comes to writing and creating, right? What is your atmosphere like? What is the environment you kind of build around you when you're getting into that writing zone?
Definitely. When I'm writing, I'm always in like my own universe in some way. I'm always in my room and I always have a specific thing. I have to be in my room by myself, the piano's on, the room is dark, and I have to just be in my zone. Sometimes I have to listen to someone else's song to have an idea come pop up in my head, or sometimes I can be walking around, maybe cooking something and something will come up. And yeah, it really depends on what type of environment I'm in, what time of the day, what I'm feeling, if I'm feeling happy, sad. And sometimes if I don't have something at the moment, I would, sometimes think back at something that did happen that I didn't write about. Or if someone I know is going through something, I would try to not be too specific and would be general. And yeah, so life definitely does inspire me.
Yeah. I do appreciate that because when you think of course, I'm gonna draw like Drake is one of my favorite artists, writers of all time, you know?
Hmm.
And it's
Definitely.
even, I feel like, just the fluff that people would get on like radio play if they really like, analyze his career. And when he speaks on, or if you take in the tidbits he'll share about his writing process, and it's just like digging into those moments. I see people use the meme with like the Drake diary, but like into those moments and just finding, like you said, thoughts that you kind of push
Hmm.
back and finding a way to compose that into like an amazing song lyric or an amazing song like Autumn Tears, and have like that feeling translate no matter how many times you may have that record on repeat. That is like a true talent. I really do believe.
Yeah, thank
Is
you.
that is that something that you felt like, not to make you come off conceited or anything, but like, do you find that was something hard for you to like level up to, or did you take like classes on writing?
Oh no, I never took classes in writing. Honestly, when I was, because like I was saying before, I started writing when I was 8. And
Mhm.
so basically what kind of inspired it was I was going through a lot of bullying when I was at that age and during that time as well. And I did have a couple of friends here and there, but I didn't really have the courage to talk to anybody, whether it was friends or family, about all the dark things that were happening, all the dark thoughts I was thinking of. And
Mm.
so I would just put them in a piece of paper, or I would write them on a computer privately and just write about what I was feeling, wouldn't have any boundaries. And naturally, with my musical background, it kind of translated into what I would do in my music. So a diary then became lyrics and melodies, and that's basically what I've been doing even till now. So yeah, definitely.
I love that. So being like in Quebec, describe to me a bit what it's like being a part of that music scene over there, because I'm in Toronto. Of course, I've spoken
Mhm.
to people all over the world, but oddly enough, I will admit I've never been to Quebec. I know. I
You've never been?
I've never been like to be like, say I was there and spent like days on end to really absorb the culture. I won't lie to
Mhm.
people. I've never been. And I'm like Canadian. So if you could describe to me just like what that music scene is like, as you said, you come from a musical background, but also you had to get your own footing, find your own team, etc. So what is the environment like out there?
Honestly, for the past, well, when I first started out, I remember seeing it was pretty low key. It was hard to find. But for the
Mm,
last 3, 4, 5 years, I would say that it has grown definitely. Because I remember when I was a lot younger, I really couldn't see it. I had to go deep and find it. But lately, I've been seeing a lot of it on my feed going around. And yeah, it's pretty low key, but now it's really good. It's getting there. We're getting there. One thing though, is that I find I've heard people talk about this, and I've even talked about it with some of my artist friends. I feel like we're really underrated, Quebec people, like Quebec music, because there are a lot of artists that I personally know, and there are some that I don't know, but I've heard of, that I feel like that they need recognition. They don't have that recognition that they deserve, and that's one thing. But
I'll play, I'll play devil's advocate, right? I've
Mhm.
always felt a sense of tension, or your guys' environment feels like you're above Toronto, if that makes
Really?
any. Yeah, like I've always kind of felt, I'm just gonna speak from like my like media standpoint, but I've always kind of felt like, you know, of course, like as soon as, your team and everything, I was like, yes, 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 right? But in
Yeah.
terms of finding you guys, same as you would say, I find that difficult.
Hmm.
And then as well, it's not like a condescending attitude, but it's just kind of like, I don't know if it's that whole Quebec Toronto thing, separation just plays out into everything. But I've always felt that kind of like, y'all act like you don't need us, you don't want to be a part like of it with us, when I know so many people that would be willing to like collaborate with people in
Hmm.
Quebec, vice versa.
Yeah. I definitely do understand that. And I feel like, honestly, I feel like we also think the same way about Toronto.
Yeah.
100%. I remember hearing a lot of that too. They were like, Toronto's that, Toronto's that. I'm like, come on now. Can't we just be one? Like,
Yeah.
I feel like that we could be united, but a lot of people are wanting to split that in two. But yeah, definitely.
Hey, maybe you can be a real like threshold in that department because we're connecting today, and
Yeah, definitely.
definitely put me on to more artists out there, and I'm more than willing to give that exposure and share that like with everyone because coming to you, like I really feel like it's Canada. Like we need
Exactly. Yeah.
on a whole scale just to come together and like blow up these Billboard charts.
Exactly. Damn. Why do we have to be so divided?
Legit.
It's like always like our province is this, our province is that, but we can just be one. We can just be one.
Legit.
Like, come on now.
I agree. So when it comes to working with the drummer on Celine Dion's team, Dominique Messier, am I saying it correctly?
Miss Messier.
Messier.
Yeah.
How did that connection come about? Like, I'm already obsessed with Celine Dion. There's no wrong you can do.
Oh, I love her.
Ever. And Jamaicans love her, okay? So, how did that collaboration come about?
Yeah, so I went to their studio one day, just wanting to look around and just seeing literally, I just went in. Yeah, I just went in. Honestly, I just researched. Me and my dad, we were researching some good studios because I'm always open to exploring new studios because I've always been in one studio for the past couple of years. So I was always interested in like going around, just seeing new people, meeting new people. And so I went in one day and he happened to be there. And then he offered to just show us around, honestly. And then we sat down and I remember telling him, I have this song that I really want to put out. And then he asked me to play it. And I just played it on the grand piano and he said, let's work. And that's basically how things work.
You just got in your bag and you're like, this is it.
Yep.
Like,
because I was like, you know what? Let me try and approach it and let's see what happens. It doesn't hurt to approach people.
It doesn't. Like, I love that. And that's what I live for and trust. Like, I feel more and more people should do that. Like, back
Definitely.
in the day, I love music. I'm a huge musical nerd. And like, back in the day when you watch especially like Motown or like years before, like that's what people do. They pull up at people's studio sessions,
Exactly.
pull up at shows, and be like, you gotta tell me no to my face. Like,
exactly. A lot of people who I know, it's like a lot of people in general, I feel like the whole approaching people is something that people either are afraid of or just don't want to do. And more so they're waiting for the opportunities to come. Because I remember back in the day, I was doing that because I thought that was what we were supposed to do. But then I said, you know what? It doesn't hurt to try and approach somebody. If it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. Don't be bummed about it. Go and try again. It's like, it's always about, trying again and always about just believing in yourself and stuff. Yeah.
1000%. Like, even most recently, I hope you've seen at least some of it, the Kanye West 3-part trilogy documentary.
No, I haven't. Not yet.
Please do watch some of it. But
I will now.
There was so much like important tidbits that like I took from it just as someone that loves music and just everything about it. And I know, I'm sure you know the record Through the Wire.
Mm-hmm.
And he spent about $33,000 US alone from start to finish, getting that record, video, everything together.
Damn.
There were moments in there that him and his boys would have to literally sneak into MTV studios when they were closed so that they could use their equipment, because obviously equipment wasn't as accessible as it is now.
Exactly. Yeah.
To try and edit and put his videos together. And like at a certain point, he felt like he wasn't getting enough support, or he wasn't getting they pushed his album kind of back, and he was still determined because he felt that feeling like this is something special that the world is really going to appreciate. And he would literally just hop into other people's studio sessions, whether he would get like 10 minutes, 15 minutes to like just kind of bite off of their time and get it in there. And I'm like, if Kanye West literally had to go through that, do that, and still going through bullshit like that to this day, you know what I mean? What makes all of you artists above that. And that's something that
Exactly.
really like peeves me. So I love that attitude. Please don't
Mhm.
ever lose it. You know, it's humbling, and I feel like that's also what keeps the hunger going as well.
Thank you. Yeah, I really do think that it really is important to put yourself out there because if you don't do it for yourself, then who will? You know?
Mm.
Definitely
But
important.
here at Downtown World, we say eat fruit and mind your business. So that was definitely some fruit.
Yes.
So moving forward, you know, you've also had the experience of working with Marc Thériault. Am I
Mm-hmm.
saying it correctly?
Thériault.
I just like making you say it because your French is like so amazing, and I like your voice. But we're gonna say how do you say his name again?
His?
Marc.
Marc Thériault.
Oh, amazing. Okay, easy. All right, and you also have the privilege of like getting your music mastered and mixed, and like that is something I can truly appreciate, especially with having like the honor of being able to go into some artists like studio sessions and really see the importance it is of the quality of music you're putting out and that mix and mastering. Okay, girl, what what do like what do those words even mean to you? Is it something that you're just kind of like, yeah, this is something I have to do, or you knew from the jump, try to get that radio play, try to have sound quality up apart from the others. This is something that needs to be done. It needs to be done the right way.
Oh yeah, definitely. I always believe that whenever I have a song that I'm preparing to be put out, I always have to look at it in every different way, and I always want it to be absolutely as perfect as it can be because nothing is perfect, right? So I always try to make it as perfect, as close as perfect, right? So I always do feel like it's important for the sound to always be great, the instruments, the lyrics, even when I'm writing, I look at every single detail.
Mm,
I'm really like I'm such a perfectionist. So
mm,
even if I see one little mistake, like if I were to give you an example with the songwriting,
mm.
in the first pre-chorus, I say you'd walk out the door.
Yeah,
So like Y-O-U apostrophe D.
yeah.
But then I remember the first time I wrote it, I said you walked out the door.
It's such a difference.
There's
I get it.
such a big
Yeah.
difference. So then I remember, so basically, yeah, every single one of my songs, whether they're out or going to be out, I always make sure to look at it in every form. And if I have to take, let's say, a month or 2 months or even longer to make it as close as perfect, then that's what I'll do. I always make sure.
I really feel like music to my ears. I really appreciate those things because it is the little nuances that make a huge difference. It is.
Yeah, it
That's
is.
something I feel like I try to tell artists like all the time. You can say just literally you gave the perfect example, and just that little knockoff of a couple of letters or add-on can like
Hmm.
change the whole dynamic of a song.
Exactly. Yeah,
Who would you
exactly.
say are like some of your musical inspirations? I know you told me about your family, but who are some of
Hmm.
your personal like music inspirations that, you know, it doesn't mean that you're copying their music, but
Hmm.
definitely inspire you to be a better artist every time.
There are a couple, and Adele is one. Adele, I've always looked up to her music and her. There's also Freddie Mercury,
Mm-hmm.
that is an icon, an icon. Lady Gaga as well. I love her image and I love her music. Since Born This Way is one of my favorite albums
Yeah.
from start to finish. And then there's this artist, this French artist. Well, he's Belgium. He's from Belgium. I was gonna say it in French, but he's from
How do you say
Belgium.
it again?
Belge, I think, or Grand. I don't even remember. I think I'm thinking of England.
Okay.
I don't know, but in like to call a person from there is Belge.
Okay.
So yeah, so Stromae. I don't know if you've heard of him.
No, but
Stromae.
please educate me.
He is amazing. Like he's like this sort of electro pop, but he kind of raps his songs, kind of like talking to you personally. So really, every time I listen to his songs, it really feels like he's telling me a story directly, like as if he was next to me. And
Mm.
he likes to play with his words, which I love to do as well. Like, there's this thing, I don't know if this is an English thing as well, but in French, we call this les homophones, where you have two words that are spelt the same way, but they have different meanings.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he does a lot of that and a lot of play with words. So I love that. And I just love how all of them have this specific image that they just don't try to be something that they're not. Also, their music, the way they introduce music to the world, how they approach it. So I love that.
No, I really do love that. And just the things that even you're saying that you pick apart from these artists, it's re is reminding me how, like, as you said, serious you really are taking this. You know?
Mhm.
When it
Thank
comes to
you.
Bad Girl, I know it isn't recent, but that was another track that I really did appreciate, and I felt like it showed another side to you as well. What inspired that record? Because I do not get Bad Girl vibes from you, Tamara. So, like, what inspired that record?
So that song, it really did come out of nowhere. I've said this in a couple of interviews before, but I was when usually when I write my music, I'm pretty much I don't know why, but I tend to write a lot of like dark ballad songs on the piano. And
Mm.
so that specific song really did come like it was like a once in a lifetime song for me. I remember going on my keyboard piano and I wrote the entire song from the beginning to end on keyboard, but it was the only song that I did have in my catalog sitting there where I just didn't feel like it was, right. There was something wrong with it. Like it's like as if you had like a meal that you were making and then you taste it and there's something missing.
Mm.
So that's definitely what I felt with that song. So I remember jumping into it and finding maybe it was the instrument that was the problem. So then I had this little guitar sound that really made me feel like I was watching the Wild Wild West type of film. And instantly, there was just something about it that made the song blend.
Mm.
And then, and then I remember showing it to my parents, and they were as shocked as I was. And they actually thought that I was like, they thought I was kidding. They thought I was kidding around. They thought that maybe it was a cover or of
Yeah.
something. But I was like, no, I wrote it. And it was so funny though. I remember the reactions, their jaws dropped and they were like, into the studio we go.
Awesome parents! I love that.
Yes. They're
Have they
super supportive.
Yeah, I was just about to ask, like, was it like that the whole time? Or were they like, girl, you need to, like, be a lawyer, a doctor? Like, what was that like for you?
Honestly, they've always been super supportive with the music. They've even realized that I wanted to be in the music even before I knew. So like when I was like a little kid, I remember one of these stories that my mom told me where when I was like probably like maybe 1 or 2 years old, and I would be put on the couch in front of the TV, and every single jingle that would come at every commercial, I would know by heart. Like I would be able to hum it from start to finish. And
Yeah.
there's a lot of stories, and even there was this other story that my mom was telling me. We used to live across the street of a mall,
Okay.
and in that mall, as soon as you go in, there's this music store on the side. And they would always put a keyboard piano there to like kind of just put in display. And as a kid, I was probably the same age. I would run straight to it. I would go in the store, in the mall, go straight to the piano, and I would play on it. And I don't know how I knew that that's how it worked, but then they said, you know what? I think she's going to be in the music industry, whether she's a singer or, you know, a musician or anything. So when I was 6 and 7, my parents put me into music class and I instantly fell in love. And it basically went from there.
Um, so are all of your songs like 100% written by you, or do you like also have writers?
No, I read them all myself.
That is, girl, get it, get it.
Thanks.
That is amazing. So would you be open, like, some people, you have amazing writers, like, I won't even say any names because you could go on and on, but for the most popular, I'll say Quincy Jones, one of the greatest
Hmm.
songwriters of like all time, right? Would you be open to let's see, writing music for others and like, I guess would the proper term be selling your songs? Or
Yeah.
are you more like, no, I need to keep it and perform it because y'all don't know what you're doing? Come on, Grace. Like,
For sure, I'd be open to, there's a lot of possibilities with songwriters. There's always the, writing the song entirely and then having an artist sing it. Or there's also the possibility where you have someone approach you and say, "Hey, you're a songwriter. I want to write a song. You want to join in, have an input, add something in there." So yeah, I'm always going to be open to any opportunity. Definitely.
okay, that's dope. So
Yeah.
when we speak on because longevity, right?
Hmm.
I'd be very heartbroken if like next year this time I look and you're not doing this anymore. You know what I mean? Those are one of like some of the most saddest things to me, especially when you're so talented, you know.
Thank you.
So before we even continue, I'm gonna say please do not ever give up.
Thank
Music,
you.
but do not give up, okay?
Yes,
Okay.
definitely.
So when it comes now to, sorry, I wanted to make sure I was wording this correctly. So when we look at the music industry on a whole, you know, there's always things that us as artists, media people, etc., everybody has an idea of this is what needs to change, that's what needs to change so that this can be done or it could be a better environment or a more cohesive environment. If you were given the power tomorrow, what is something about the music industry that you would change?
Oh, there are a lot of things that I would change. There's a lot of things that should be changed. But the one thing that's coming into mind right now, hmm, the fact that labels really focus on quantity over quality.
Mm,
That's one thing, not just labels. Like, there's a lot of big authorities out there that find that it's important for someone who has 90,000 followers to be a part of their brand rather than someone who has so much talent as that person has, but has, let's say, 100 followers. So I
yeah.
really do feel like that's something that should be changed because there are so many artists out there who don't have the following but do have the talent and should have the attention that said 90K person is having. So I really do feel like that's something that has to, change. But
1000% agree.
yeah, and I hope it does because damn.
So hard too, like when we get deeper and you think of like all these farms or like people can buy their numbers and you know, I remember
Mhm.
speaking with a BT executive, Paul Porter, shout outs to him, and he was explaining that same very thing. And he's someone that's worked in that network for over like 20 years, where it's just like he's like, can you not hear a hit? There's no
Exactly.
computer algorithm that can necessarily determine that. Like you could hear that, you could feel that. And even like some of our most favorite songs when you speak about Queen or like ABBA or like Lady Gaga, there's a feeling in a moment I can't really describe when you're in the studio and you just know this is a hit. This is something
Exactly.
special. And it's
Hmm.
very irritating, you know, that cool. I'm very happy for everyone's like success that they're booking these shows and everything based off of their social media numbers or embellished like listening numbers. But
Hmm.
you could like when you see certain indie artists or hear artists like yourself perform where they're able to just jump on a grand piano and go to work right in front of you like it's nothing.
Mm.
You're like,
Yeah.
oh, there's talent and then there's like I don't know what
Yeah.
the difference for those people are, but there's talent.
I know what you mean, girl.
Right?
Yes.
Does that become like super frustrating for you as you're growing in this industry?
Yeah, sometimes it does do take a big toll on me, definitely. But I always have that side of me in my head that tells me to keep going.
Yeah.
And, back in the day, I remember that it would really damage me. Like I would say, like, what's the point of even making a song right now if it's not gonna be big, if
Mm,
it's not gonna be noticed? Because it really does take a lot even to be noticed.
it
So
does.
yeah, so definitely, definitely. But nowadays, not so much. I just have that thought of keep going, being really strong in my head to say, keep going, doesn't matter, just keep going.
And you're developing a thick skin as well, which is very important in this industry. You know, also another side that I feel like people aren't realistic about is like that investment side. As I said, to mastering your stuff, especially someone who's won like numerous Juno awards, that's not cheap. Going to the studio and working with someone like Celine Dion drummer,
not cheap.
So explain your thoughts just on that and investing into your musical career.
Yeah, so I definitely do feel like that, you know, sometimes it's not always the case that sometimes the spending is something that you have to do in order to get there. And I do have also some friends who are not in the industry who sometimes look at us artists and think that, you know, you're just wasting your money, putting it into something that is just not gonna be successful, regardless of if you're good or not. And so, yeah, I definitely do feel like that it is important to be true to yourself.
1000%. And you must invest. Like, I don't like gone are the days where you could be like singing on the corner, or it could happen, but when you really think about that longevity, like even up to the greats, you have to invest. Like, I don't know the amount. I'm not going to tell people the amount, but I know like radio play alone, you're looking at like 20 to 50K. You know?
Yeah.
So there's to put some things in perspective for some. So a standard question that I do ask all my guests, as I said, the platform is Downtown World. It's an acronym. It stands for Don't Waste No Time with Negativity. Tamara, tell me about a time.
Oh, like, yes.
Thank you. Where it was definitely negative. No questions asked. And we kind of spoke on some already, but a situation where it's definitely negative, no questions asked, and somehow, some way, you might have even surprised yourself. You chose not to waste any time with negativity.
So, well, there are some times, well, regarding other people, where I remember fresh starting out when I was 16, like putting out my music, and you know, fresh out of it, some people were very supportive. They say, keep going, you're gonna do great. But then teenage me was pretty sensitive. And so when people would tell me, oh, are you sure you want to do this with your life? You know, do you not want to be, I don't know, a doctor or maybe a lawyer or something? And kind of put me down in that way. Because, you know, sometimes, you know, there are some people where I think that they didn't mean any harm. But there are others where I definitely know that they were trying to be like, you know, it's not going to work. Just give up already and just go to college, do something good with your life. And so, yeah, definitely back then I really did take it very seriously. I would just be like, you know, come on. I thought we were going to be, you know, helping each other out here. But yeah, so yeah, definitely that. And it really did feel like I got punched in the gut there. Really definitely did. But yeah, definitely that. But nowadays, somebody can tell me it and I'll be like, yeah, well, it's a passion of mine. I've always wanted to do it. So you can say that all you want, but I'm going to keep on going no matter what. Yeah.
1000%. And that's literally what this whole blog is like embedded in. You know, people, a lot of the time, they're projecting and their fears or maybe goals or like no one else around them has ever gone this hard for something that they truly wanted deep down inside. So it's like they don't even properly know how to respond to it or, you know, not waste time with negativity and really like pursue
exactly
business.
Mind your business. It's like, it's my life. I'll do what I want.
1000%. And it seems like you have a solid team around you. As much as you can say, speak on the importance that you found with finding a team and creating a team.
Yeah, definitely. Having a team behind you is such an important thing. Having them believe in you as much as you believe in yourself is also something really important. I remember starting out and not having anyone on my team besides my parents and then the producer I was working with. And so going from that and then having a team behind me has been really supportive. It's been really supportive for me. And yeah, it's having people tell you their opinion, even though sometimes it hurts, which is something really important because you don't want people to lie to your face.
You don't.
And yeah, so yeah, it's definitely is when you want to be in the industry, it definitely is important to have a group behind you. Whether it be small or big, it really doesn't matter. But I personally like a small group.
Yeah. No, I do as well. I do as well. I remember one of my mentors said to me, and those are words that I truly, truly live by to this day, where it's just like, you don't need as many people as you think you do.
Mm, yeah, definitely, definitely.
Not that you don't need any, but not maybe as many. And sometimes,
100%.
yeah.
100%.
So, Tamara, I'd love to know, like, what is one of your favorite songs, like your happy songs to listen to? Doesn't necessarily have to be happy, but like it's a song where like no matter what you're doing, where you are, when you play this record, it just gets you in a whole zone, a whole vibe. What's one of those records for you?
Huh. I
I
have
can
to think.
one of mine is uh Luther Vandross, Never Too Much. I could literally hear that record like anytime and just be like da, 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 da. Like you're doing it to me right now. Okay.
Oh my God. You know what? This is gonna sound so like because I'm like I have like I don't know, people look at me as a softie. And so if I
Not
were to
girl.
say
Oh, you're a badass.
thank you,
I can, yep, yep.
it's like it's in the inside. On the outside, I'm just hi, I'm just chilling. But like this one song for some reason that every time I hear it, it's like I can repeat it over and over. Gangsta's Paradise.
Ooh, you caught me
Every
off guard
time.
with that.
Every
Okay.
time. I can play that over and over in any situation. I can even be
Huh?
sad in my bed and I'll play it and I'll be crying. I'll be like, yes, that's it.
This
I've
energy
done
is
that before.
paradise.
I've
I
done that
know.
before.
I'm telling you. Oh, that is so dope.
Yeah.
Are you guys all there as I walk through the valley of the
Yep.
shadow? Are you like rapping the whole?
Definitely. Anytime someone will play that, I will be on my feet.
I
I will
love
put on a show.
I love. Oh yes, Tamara, I love it. And you know, I want to say to you, not in a bad way when I say it. I can tell you're a badass. But speaking to you, I can tell you're educated. You're determined. You're not. I guess the word is stupid. You're
Thank
like,
you.
and like, you're smarter than I think. As you said, people take you not for granted, but like in Jamaica, there's this saying, play it fool for catch wise. Not that you're playing
Mm,
fool, but it's
mhm.
just like I can tell there's so many layers to you that like the world doesn't even know yet. So I'm gonna say to you
Thank
again,
you.
please do not give up. Like you're super
Thank
talented, you're trained, you're growing. Now we have that linkage in Toronto. I'm sure people will be reaching out and
you.
just
Yes.
on going no matter what.
Thank you. Such kind words, girl. You got me.
I don't throw this around lately. You can watch my interviews, so I'm telling you.
Yeah, I have. So I was like, that's so sweet though. Thank you.
No, you're more than welcome. When it comes to image, a lot of women we feel pressured. We we want to look a certain way, or makeup to be done or not to be done. I
Hmm.
love the kind of it's not a rough, but like a pure aesthetic that you have to your image. Was that something that you like consciously were aware of, or like do you feel you're looking to like change your look? Like what are your thoughts around that?
Yeah, honestly, I've been seeing like, like you said, a lot of big artists out there in the world, especially females. They all have this certain era thing that they do every album. And it's such pressure to put on women to have eras and certain aesthetics every time. But I always just try to stay true to who I am. And sometimes my style changes. Like when I was 15, I was dressing a certain type of way. Now I'm 21, I dress a different way. Some things that I wouldn't wear from when I was back in the day, vice versa. So yeah, I always just try to stay true to who I am, which is kind of like that style. I don't know
No?
if you can see it. I'm really like in
It's like a tomboy chic. Am I correct? Because I love it.
the painting.
No, like your like the vibe I get from your photos and how you dress now. But like kind of like
Tomboyish.
serious. Yeah, like tomboy chic.
Yeah, kind of, yeah.
No,
What I
I rock.
really love is like, do you know the aesthetic academia?
Yes. Like
I
similar to
love
your
those.
yeah.
Yeah, kind of like that. Like the cover art for Autumn Tears kind of like
Yeah.
portrays like how I am in everyday. So yeah, definitely.
No, I rock with that. And, you know, it's so important, especially as women, for us to just stay like authentic to our true selves because you end up like getting a lace front or something, like doing this whole shebang. Like at the end of the day, if it's not really you, it's not really you. Girl, I can tell you the amount of times I've tried to like wear a lace front for the sake of like, I won't say fitting in, but for the sake of this conversation, like fitting in. And it's literally like rashed up my whole skin. God is like, it's not for you. Take it off.
Just
Take it
take it
off.
off.
So, like, you have to embrace the skin you're in, whether you want
Exactly.
to or not.
Exactly. That was hard when I was younger. I've always tried to be somebody else. Like I remember when it came to my hair, because naturally I have really puffy hair.
I
How
love it.
many years, thank you,
I love it.
how many times I can say that from like what grade? Probably like third grade all the way up to seventh grade, straighten that hair every day
Mm.
because I wanted to fit in like the other girls.
Mm-hmm.
And then I would buy, the same bag as the other girls, dress the same way as the other girls. But now for the past couple of years, I'm just like, I'm just gonna be me. I'm just gonna be me. It's like, if you don't love me for who I am, I love myself. It's like, that's it. That's all I need.
Facts, 1000%. 1000%. Okay, so the last question I will ask you, I noticed that you're bringing up food. I love food. I love cooking as well. Is that something that you like to do when you're not behind the piano and
I
you're not
love,
creating?
I love to eat. Oh my God. Oh my God. If I could tell you how many times I will go up and down, open the fridge, see nothing, go open the fridge, grab something. I eat too much. I eat too much. It's like, sometimes I'm just like, girl, you have to stop.
No, like, okay, give me something that you would like eat that you're like, girl, you need to like eat this. Or something you usually eat.
Oh my God. Okay. This sounds like, okay.
No, it doesn't.
Poutine. You know that, right? I'm not gonna say it. But you know what it is, right?
Hell yeah! I want it. I want them all. I want all the different tastes. You gotta
Oh
figure
my
it out.
God. It's so good. It's like it's just three ingredients. Three ingredients. You have the potatoes for the fries, you have the gravy, and you have the cheese curds.
Yes.
Oh my God. And if you don't have the specific gravy and you don't have the specific cheese, it ain't gonna be the same. Like
It,
I've tried and no way.
it isn't.
And we have all of our, well, it's a French term. We have all our casse-croûtes here. Oh my
Okay.
God.
What's
Casse-croûte
that?
basically it's like kind of like a little restaurant
Okay.
where it's basically their specialty is poutine. Oh my God, I said it.
I do know that. I
Yeah.
do know that, and I have learned that. That's why I'm like, I need to go out there, girl. If you love this
Yeah.
food this much, you need to like go to the heart of where
Heck
it's
yeah.
from.
Because I know that Toronto, they have some places that make it, but I'm like, I love that y'all are trying, but sometimes you have to go to where it is really from
Facts. I
because
can't even argue
you know
it.
what I'm
I can't
saying?
even argue it.
So that's why I'm like, every time, sometimes once a week, I'll be like, can we just go get some? And I'll just go and I'll be there and I'll be like in heaven for like an hour, be like, just chilling.
Mm.
Yeah.
Thick cut
Poutine
or
is so good.
thin cut fries?
Pardon?
Thin cut or thick cut fries? Which is the way to go as a true Quebecois? You can put me on. What is
Thick.
thick? I
Thick.
felt that in my spirit. I was like,
I'm not really into thin. Oh my God, somebody said road trip.
Agreed. Agreed.
Yes.
Dallas. Yes. Dallas
Yes.
is so great.
Like I
What-
remember, oh my God, how far is Scarborough from you?
I'm in the east, so not far at all.
Not far.
I'm in Scarborough.
Because like speaking, you're in Scarborough?
Yes.
Oh my God. So like speaking of that, because of the road trip thing, I remember my family and I, because we all have different schedules,
Mhm.
but we would always have to plan like 1 month in advance and be like, this very day, we're gonna drive 7 hours and get Popeyes.
Ooh, it's not the same though.
Yeah.
I heard about that out there that they literally took away like all the Popeyes.
Oh yeah. There are so many restaurants that shut down here, and I'm telling you, the amount of people I know, probably every weekend, everybody's going to Popeyes. Like everyone's going to a different Popeyes. We're like, hey, we got bucket of chicken. Oh my God. We would
It's
all go
definitely a
there.
local thing.
Yeah, like we would all go there, buy it, go home. That's
Hey,
all.
no judgments. I will literally travel to like just the other side of the world just for food. Like food is life for me. So you are
It
not gonna get any
is.
sentiment from this end over here.
Oh my God. I love food. Damn, I can't even.
I literally
Mm-mm.
book all vacations based on the food.
The food?
So
Oh my God, you're just like me. I'm like, I'll go there because of that.
5
Yeah.
hours out to MTL if you're
If you're
speeding.
speeding concern.
Man, I'm not trying to get a ticket in these times.
Oh my
Oh
God,
my God,
especially.
literally. But I think, okay, so you said 7 hours to where you're at. There's 5 hours to MTL. Now
Yeah,
I
but
really gotta go soon.
it's like ish, 6 hours ish.
I
Because
feel
I
you.
remember I went to Ottawa too, and it was like about 5 hours. So it wasn't
Okay.
that bad. Yeah.
I'm gonna be very honest. Geography was never my strong suit. Uh, I'm a strong like C+ in that grade,
Oh,
that department. I don't know. For some reason, like it would never click for me, but I will trust everything that you and Alistair here says today. So before I let you go tomorrow, I'd love you to just let everyone know why they should tap into your music and listen to Autumn Tears and take a deep dive into the music that you 100% wrote yourself.
thank you for adding that.
Oh
So,
yeah.
so basically, well, my music has always been super genuine. Like I was saying before, I always write from experience for the most part. And so, yeah, just, music that is super genuine, that comes to heart. And yeah, just having a good time with music. And yeah, more to come though, more to come.
I 1000% believe you. Don't be hesitant, you and your team, to send me, over the music and stuff. I get a lot coming in, so don't ever like. I hate when people. We were speaking on it a bit earlier, where it's just kind of like some artists have this like entitlement thing where it's like, you should see me, you should. I need to
Wait,
speak to Autumn Tears tonight. I love it. I love it. No, seriously, it will have you just.
you'd be like eating the poutine with a tear coming out on the side. It's like, okay.
Literally. But I no, I'm so excited to see you grow more and just like kill it. Don't be a stranger, as I said. Definitely. You guys make sure you're following Tamara Grace right up here. Click following this queen, support this queen, stream her music. It's available on all platforms. Do you have an official video coming out soon?
No, unfortunately, no. We were supposed to do one for this song, but like timing was really off with all of us because I had to approach the videographer, but it was really off. But hopefully in the next one, I hope.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay. I didn't notice that and I forgot to ask you, so I said let me just quickly slide it in there.
yeah. But no, I hope so, hope for the next one because I would
Okay.
love to do that.
No, I can't wait to see what you come up with because you already have such a, as I said, like analytic. I love that. I'm a very like OCD, like analytic person myself, so I can't wait to see what you come up with visually to like just tie in with already what you have audibly. Let everyone know, Tamara Grace, where they can follow you, where they can support you, where they can tap in, and also if you're open to like collaborations and how you go about that.
Yeah, so for collaborations, I am always open to doing some collaborations. So just message me, I guess, on Instagram because that's where I'm mostly at, Tamara Grace
Oh,
Music. And regarding where you can find me, there is another Tamara Grace out there. So if you want to
you're the real
search me,
Tamara Grace.
I'm the real one here. I'm the OG. So like if you want to find me, you can go to Tamara Grace Music and you should have all of my catalog there. Yeah.
And can I bother you to just say it like in French as well? I'm being like such a like girl crush, just like
It's like
obsessing with you right now. Let's just give them a little bilingual, you know?
you want me to say something in French?
No, like let them know how to support you, like, share,
Oh, in
subscribe.
French?
French girl.
Ok. Si vous voulez me trouver pour ma musique, vous pouvez aller vous pouvez me chercher Tamara Grace Music et vous pouvez trouver tout mon catalogue là et ouais.
Je ne comprends pas.
Je ne, je ne parle pas le français. Je comprends pas. It'd be like, it's like,
Oh, I love it.
I remember that there was this one thing where someone, I don't know if it was in French or it was a different language, someone would be like, oh, they would say like let's say in Spanish, let's say, and you'll be
Yeah.
like, oh, ¿cómo estás? And then that person realizes, oh, they speak
You
Spanish,
know?
and then they will blabber and blabber and blabber, and then you'll be there like, see, haha, see. Okay. I didn't understand a word you said, but see.
The best is like in movies when they show like those moments and then the person will start saying stuff like, my cat likes to like play in the rain, and like the person will be like, see? Like it will just continue
See.
on. It's weird.
Oh,
No. But definitely, I know like hip hop isn't your forefront, but if you get a chance, tap into that Kanye documentary. I feel like it's very inspiring for like especially
definitely.
ourselves to just see a billionaire, a black one at that, just like
Mhm.
what they went through and help to, just get some juices going.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So I want to say thank you to our Grace for not wasting any time in negativity tonight. You definitely ate fruit, minded your business, and I truly, truly appreciate it. I really do.
Thank you for having me. I had such a fun time talking to you.
I did as well. Like I could literally keep talking to you, but I know I gotta let you go.
Same. I was like, do we have to end now?
Hey, we could definitely do a part two. Hit me up whenever. You are part of the Downtown World family, so don't be a stranger.
Definitely, definitely will hold up to you.
All right, guys, have a great night. This is your girl Kay, another episode of Downtown World. Don't waste no time with negativity. You have to learn a lot more about Tamara Grace, and make sure you tap into her music and listen to her latest record, Autumn Tears.
Yes. Thank you so much.
No problem. Good night.
Good night.
About to go downtown.